Hello, we're here with Beth Wolfe. She's with Power Up for PCOS. I've been corresponding with this wonderful woman. She has some amazing things that she wants to share with us today. So Beth, can you share a little bit about your story and what you do?
Yep. I'm the founder of Power Up for PCOS. I started it because in 2008, after years of being undiagnosed, I finally got my diagnosis that I was looking for. I went online searching for support groups and information on how to manage it, and everywhere I looked, it said something different, so there was no consistent information. I couldn't find anything for support groups. I found one or two other people in the state, and that was really it. So there wasn't anyone. It was very isolating. At that point, I was sitting there feeling sorry for myself for a while. I decided one day that I needed some sort of motivation to kick me in the butt to do something for me. I looked around, I contacted one of the PCOS organizations out there and wanted to start a walk. No answer, nothing. Called some hospitals in the area. One hospital told me that they wouldn't help me, that PCOS was not considered a sexy enough disease to raise money for.
Oh, wow.
Cancer, they said, raises a lot of money because it's touched everyone, and cancer was their sexy disease, is what they called it.
Wow. I've never heard of that before, but okay.
And with women with PCOS, we don't feel sexy as it is most of the time, so that was pretty heartbreaking. I gave up. At that point, nothing happened for quite a few months. Someone contacted me saying, I thought you were still going to do the walk. I'm interested. I want to raise money for it. So my husband went on and searched, ways to raise money for PCOS research. And he found a website or a company called INSIST, Institute for Hormone Health. And they had heard my story through one of the hospitals. And because of that, they started a research foundation for PCOS. So I got in touch with her, and she got me connected with a few people around here, and we actually started the walk. We started planning it. So it went from me just wanting to go out and, drag my family down and raise money to, okay, this is real, this is happening. Our first year we had, we raised just about $3,000.
Wow.
With 10 women.
Amazing. And
it was a local thing only. After that, we realized very quickly that it was not just a walk. People were coming out of the woodwork, messaging me and emailing me, telling me, I want one in my area, I want a support group, and so on. So we decided to kind of look at what I was looking for that I couldn't find and create that. So we, a few of us created this organization called Power Up for PCOS. We focus on education. There's a big difference between our groups and others. We focus on education, and then we also allow time for connecting with others. But we want it to be education-based, so you're actually doing something for yourself and not just getting together and
chatting.
Yeah, cackling and complaining about things. We want it to be a positive place.
And that's good. So we can complain
yes.
having PCOS, but
there's a lot to complain about.
It is, but it's better when you come together to educate one another. That's a good thing.
So we started, we call them Power Up groups. They're not support groups. We call them Power Up groups.
Power Up.
So because they're empowering. Yeah. So our whole motto is empowering women to manage their PCOS. So we looked at what that was, and so we have lots of different avenues to do that. We do the Power Up groups, we do the walk every year that raises money for PCOS research, awareness, and other things, but it's basically for research to help us manage this better. At our, we also do a big online, we have different regional groups, we have specialized groups. We just created a specialized group for women, or for people that, it's called Alternative Beginnings. For women that are doing the adoption route or fostering, stuff like that. So we have lots of different specialized groups to help women with that.
Are these for women that are having fertility problems, or is it just
Yep.
And this is just for women with PCOS?
No, we started including their families.
Oh, nice.
Because I don't know about anyone else, but my husband has been dragged through this quite a bit, so he knows more than any man should about,
That's good. The support is well needed and deserved when you have PCOS, right. So that's great that he's involved.
Yeah, and we have a lot of family members that are coming out and learning more about it just so they can support their, family with PCOS. We do, I'm trying to think, we have a PCOS store with PCOS items.
Is that online?
Yeah, it's an online store. We just have a lot of different ways that we get out there.
Okay.
We recently had pamphlets designed for us that one of them is for women to fill out and bring to their doctors with all the detailed symptoms and, if they have them or if they don't have, it's like a checklist.
Okay, let's stop right there because I think that's something that's very important. I actually saw the brochure, and what a lot of women don't understand are the symptoms that they would actually go and explain to the doctors. Like they hear 1, 2, 3, 4, they don't hear the list. So basically they would go to the website, print out the brochure, right? And then they fill it out and take it to the doctors. Now, what would you say to the women that maybe are hesitant to even bring this up to their doctor? Because I noticed that once you start complaining of symptoms, if you don't basically diagnose yourself, the doctors really don't give you the attention that you deserve. They're kind of just like, oh no, you're just having one symptom, wait until you have more. So what is your advice, or how can you explain to these ladies to actually go on and look at the symptoms and really take that seriously?
I think it's important they take it seriously. There's a lot of symptoms that you don't realize are connected with PCOS. I also think that when you bring that to your doctor and you're sitting down talking to them about it, if you get brushed off, it's important to say something. You need to be taken seriously. I've gone through tons of doctors, and I think that if your doctor isn't taking you seriously, you can't trust that doctor and you need to move on to another one.
I agree.
I also think that women with PCOS tend to go to the wrong doctor.
Yeah.
They go to their GYNs, which can be great. I have an awesome GYN right now that is great with it. But you need a medical team. Yeah. And one of the doctors that diagnose you the most is an endocrinologist because it's an endocrine disorder.
Yes.
I definitely think it's, you need to advocate for yourself. You will go through many doctors. We actually have part of our website is a review on different doctors and different professionals that deal with PCOS.
Okay.
So if they want to find a doctor or get reviews on a certain doctor, we're still in the process of building it, but they can go on there and submit reviews and look to see if there's any in their area.
Okay. That's a great tool. It really is, because not every doctor is really in tune with PCOS. Like, they've heard of it, obviously from going through medical school. It's something that they heard, but they really don't know what it is because it's not something that is often diagnosed. It is becoming more diagnosed now, more frequently, but I noticed that maybe 10 years ago or 20 years ago, a lot of women had it and they really didn't know because it was just never really paid attention to. So that's definitely good advice to go on and look for a doctor.
There's also most of the studies are done for prescription purposes. If there's some type of drug that they're looking to market for it, then the study will be done. PCOS, as you know, is mostly natural stuff, natural diet, natural, like unprocessed, low processed food, a lot of supplements, and supplements don't get research, unfortunately. It's just one of those things. So there's studies being done every day, but most of it revolves around some type of medication.
That's
so true. I think we are trying to hit getting in touch with doctors and getting them on board with us and to listen to our presentations. Our educational presentations are available online.
Okay, great.
So you can go on and purchase a presentation from a trained professional in PCOS.
Okay,
and
that's excellent.
One of the biggest things I can say is if there was a doctor that wanted to do more for their patients, go on and listen to a couple of them, because our presentations are our particular group here in New Hampshire recorded. So you're hearing women, like one of our first presentations was on emotional wellness. How did you feel when you were first diagnosed? You can't get any more, in touch with your patient than that, because constant, I didn't get listened to, I didn't get diagnosed the right way. They didn't listen to what I was saying to them.
That's true.
So,
and this is something that can help doctors. If a doctor is watching this, pay attention, because it's not just stuff coming out of the air. we're actually expressing ourselves to you, and it's just great to have someone to listen. I mean, you're getting paid, but it's just nice if you know they would actually listen. So you have a lot of stuff on your website that could benefit women. You have the connection with doctors, the basically to fill out the forms. You have a lot of brochures, a lot of connections, and also the groups. What do you call them? Power Up
groups in person,
groups.
And then we have the regional groups on Facebook and Twitter, and we have Pinterest and all of the social media.
So they're all over the place.
We are always looking for volunteers to help us.
Okay.
If it's something as simple as helping us online on social media or starting up a group in their area. We've enabled it so anyone in any, we joked around the first year, if you're on planet Earth anywhere, you can help us either start a walk in your area, participate in a walk in your area, even if you don't want to start one, just you want to go walk in our 5K, that's fine. You can start a group, you can help us online, you can help us with special projects, anything.
Well, you know that I want to do a walk already in New York. And I know you don't have the date, but you usually do it around what month?
September.
And that's my birthday month.
Yeah, September is PCOS Awareness Month, so every September we will have a walk. We also do other events throughout the year too, but that's our main one.
So everyone should basically stay tuned and look at the website to see where the walks are in their area. I'm definitely going to do one in New York. I don't know where exactly. And anyone that's in New Hampshire could come to your walk, or in Boston anyway, we could get them connected to come to your walk. Is there anything else that you want to share with the ladies or men or any family members, doctors? Because we're basically pinpointing everyone to get involved. This is not just for women with PCOS. Anybody could get involved with the walk, with the just supporting the website, supporting Power Up for PCOS. Anyone could get involved with that. So do you have any advice that you want to give just in general about the company, or what you want to share, like any last minute advice you want to give?
Yeah, I think that the biggest thing I can say is that women with PCOS, as far as I'm concerned, feel isolated all the time. And I think that the more we get out and do something about our PCOS, the better we're going to be. So if it's connecting online, if it's getting a presentation, or just talking to people about it. When I started talking to people around me, I realized that a lot of people around me have it.
Yes.
There's been
That's so true.
Studies that show that it's between 10 and 20% of women. So that's between 1 in 10 to 1 in 5 women have it. That's huge. I mean, you've got to know people that have it. And I think that the pamphlets are good in that purpose, because print one out and have it with you, give it to your doctor. Like aside from the ones you're filling out, leave it in your waiting room at your doctor's office. Give it to someone that you know. It can help. It really helps. But you need to advocate for yourself, and you need to actually stand up and do something for your PCOS. If you continue to sit there, you will not get any different results.
That's true. That's advice for everyone to take. And I just thank you for not giving up. Like you were looking for all the advice and it was like not there, and you kind of like became the person that you were looking for. Like in a way, if you think about it, you were looking to connect with people, and then you kind of became the connection. Like you were kind of the connection now to all these women and all these groups. Like it started with you. And that's what I'm noticing, that women with PCOS were very strong. Like once we could get past the initial feeling, the initial depression, and the initial shock, because you're not like overwhelmed, I have PCOS, but you are in shock. But once we regroup, we are very strong and we're very powerful. So I just thank you for just coming up with this idea and basically just pressing forward. And I believe that everyone's going to enjoy, looking at the website and also joining in for the walk. So thank you so much.
I do have one more thing to add.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead and add it. No, say it.
We get a lot of people saying that, I'm trying this new thing because they heard it. They heard that it was good. That's one thing that we're very adamant about, our education. Our education, INSIST, Institute for Hormone Health, actually trains professionals out there to specialize in PCOS. They have the latest research. They are reliable. That is the only source of information that I trust. So everything that passes through us with our presentations or whatever we say, we try not to give out medical advice, because I am not a dietitian, I am not trained, but our education coordinator is. So anything that comes from us, we make sure is accurate. You're not going to get something that didn't work. I mean, PCOS is different for everyone, we know that, but it's reliable information. It's something that you can trust. And don't just try something because you heard it. A lot of people get hurt that way. They take supplements that they should not be on.
That's true.
And they make themselves sicker, or they're not consistent in taking it. You know, so you should research anything that you want to take or do as a different lifestyle. Research it. You know, go to PubMed, go to some of the studies and look at what is really going on there, and then decide if that's for you, and then stay consistent in it.
Okay,
so
that's good advice. So do your research and do something. Get up and do something. Walk, do research, do whatever you have to do.
Yep.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.